Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 11, Week 15, the final week of regular season. And as we get down to this final week of gameplay, we have some high-octane matches. Today, we'll be dropping into STR1VE-GAMING versus STR1VE-GAMING. If you look at the worldwide ladder, STR1VE ranked 15th right now, STR1VE 17th, and so a win here. I wonder if STR1VE has a challenge today.
STR1VE?
Or this week.
Oh,
they did. No, they had one. That was last week. They had one against Animal House and lost. I'll be curious to see if there's a lot of the last week is crazy. I'm here with Wookie. The last week is crazy because you don't know like what's going to happen. Teams start to scramble for challenges if they've lost the match they didn't think they'd lose. And I mean, Wookie, what are your thoughts on the chase here? I don't know if they're out of reach, but I guess regardless, this will be a good foresight into what we'll probably see in the Challenger Cup.
Well, you know, I'm confused because they just had a Challenger Cup. Oh, it was last week. Okay.
Yeah, they just had a challenge last week. Yeah.
So this, I'm not sure if this is a challenge or not, but they have another game this Sunday.
Oh, they
against
do?
Resident Mafia.
Okay.
And I don't see a challenge indicator, so I don't know which one is which. But yeah, this is like, man, they are just.
This is a big week.
Looking at the standings here.
This is a big week for them. If they can win this matchup and their next one on the weekend, again, depending on where the ladder shifts, I guess I don't know. Can they get up into that 7th position? That's the real challenge for these teams right now. All these squads are playing in the worldwide ladder. It ranks you as you win and lose throughout the course of a regular season. You want to get up into the top 7 so that you move on to the finals, or we move on to the you get a free pass to the postseason tournament, and you don't have to compete against God knows how many teams in the Challenger Cup to get that 8th place position secured for yourself. And so, yeah, I don't know if they can get even enough MMR. I think it would have to be a tremendous amount.
It would have. I mean, they are like, it's the closest MMR is about 20 points, which means you have to basically win 2 games in a row with like flying colors, right? So it's pretty much out of grasp for, I would say, a large majority of players. I mean, we have 5 teams ranked 1250, all the same rank across regions.
Crazy.
So the last spot for 7th, I think, is pretty much nailed. And I think the final standings are basically what they're going to be. Like, they might move around a little bit, but the teams have such an MMR advantage between 7th and 8th position that I think they're set.
Well, we got to get into the action, Wookie. Give us the pick bans for today. What do we have coming in from STR1VE and STR1VE on the bans?
Yeah, so according to STR1VE, we have a ban against Cargo.
Okay.
And I still haven't heard back from STR1VE-GAMING on what their ban is, so I don't know what the away team has banned.
Okay. Hopefully we can get that information at some point into the pipeline so we can kind of know what the mentality is of these teams. It does give you a good insight into what they don't and do want to play, but
we could talk about Cargo for a moment while I hopefully hear back from one of these captains. I mean, I think that the Cargo ban is especially interesting from STR1VE. I feel like that kind of gameplay really suits them well. So I don't know if that's a ban out of weakness or if they just are like scared to fight STR1VE on Cargo.
Yeah, you can take a look at the stats of each squad. Head on over to VRML.com. You can look at everything, all of that information. Yeah, I mean, Cargo, a 75% win rate for STR1VE.
Yeah, 50% for STR1VE. So I don't know. What is it? Maybe they just don't feel like playing that map today.
Yeah, who knows? It's certainly not a statistical choice. That seems to be for sure. First map of the day is going to be Quarantine. STR1VE picking that map as they are the home team. And again, looking at the statistics for Air404 on Quarantine, they have a 80% win rate. I mean, this team, you know, new to the league this season, they have been playing so well throughout the course of this season. They bumped up into that master tier and been competing against top 10 teams and hanging in there. You know, again, they're probably out of reach from getting up into that top 7 now in this final week, but I don't know. They have 2 games, and the ladder shifts violently at the end of the week. We'll have to see how things shake out. I mean, today, Wookie, we have 3 games going live right now, so
right.
there's a lot of good Onward action out there to tune into and catch. So curious to see what the results are of just today, where everyone stands after matches, and the ladder really is going to get a big shakeup this final week. Like you said, a lot of teams very close in rating as well. So see what happens, but good action in front of us. Should be getting into Quarantine soon. Both squads in lobby and ready to go. Looking at the active rosters for Air 404, we have IC, Denny, Cup, Badger, Zombie, and Cobra. And over on Strive, Bezichu, Toxic Box, Cheddar, Lonwick, and Crimson King. And those are the standard rosters for both squads. So this should be a pretty solid bit of back and forth. And, you know, I suppose at the end of the day, you know, you do like to play for fun, right? That's the whole point. The reason you join the VRML is to play against people that are of equal skill so that you get a good matchup. And I anticipate this to be a pretty good matchup. Air 404 and Strive, both new to this season, and they've both been playing great.
Yeah, they really have, Knight. And, you know, this spawn right out the bat for 404, gonna be a massive advantage for them on Marsoc against an already advantaged Strive objective here. I mean, they got.
I'm gonna get up on the scaffolding, see if I can get some early picks, guys. You guys keep going to
here on Quarantine, so good spawn to counter an already powerful objective.
Yeah, the rollout of 3-2 split, taking control of the west. IC is going to find an early pick. A common dive on defense. He'll send 1 or 2 across to get coverage of that far east side. And clearly what the duo here was sent out to get. Managing to catch 1, but I wonder if they're going to be ready for the second one that's been managing to tuck in there. Toxic definitely got himself into a decent position.
Yeah, it's really interesting to send 2 guys to the south.
Yeah.
There's a drop. I was trying to figure out why I only saw 3 members.
Yep.
So Strive did unfortunately lose a member. So that brings the situation down to a 5v3 for Air 404.
Wow. Yeah, that is
not
tough.
What you want.
No, they're weak on defense here. I mean, their coverage extended out, but geez, if they lose this west side, certainly a cap potential with this objective. You can get onto that back, you know, little building there, throw some smokes out. It's not out of reach by any means. You can actually use the car for a bit of cover too from the likes of Toxic. So a big risk of a cap here if this defense crumbles. A lot on the shoulders of Cheddar in particular. He's got to find some early picks through some of these longer lanes.
Yeah, this Air 404 offense is going to actually, luckily for Strive Gaming, they're going to hit their stronger side defensively. At least Strive got that going for them.
It's just a matter of time before they crash in, trying to scan through and...
Yeah, you know, Air 404 just being meticulous, you know, they're just trying to encircle. This is something that a lot of top teams tend to do. They just take their time encircling and then maybe get a pick or 2 along the way and then do everything right in the last minute or so of the map, ideally. Some action is going to be, I think, happening here for Toxic. Just a matter of time until these 2 cross paths, Icy and Toxic, man, they're just... They got so much time on the clock that it's kind of... Toxic just needs to keep his wits about him and not get too antsy, right?
Yeah, the spot's not bad. He'll hear footsteps on the corner.
As we say it.
Yeah, if Icy goes up through that middle port, Toxic could hear him. This swing is going to get Icy into a good position, but I mean, I don't see a lot of people checking that building there when they pop up over the top. I imagine Icy's going to be more focused towards the objective, so maybe Toxic can catch a kill when Icy pops up, but
Icy may not even notice Toxic. He kind of is just so well embedded in that corner. And he's looking at the hill. Oh, he saw him. Takes him out quick. I never checked that building, but I do have a feeling I would see him fairly easily if I swung out wide like that. So that's a smart approach by Icy.
That's certainly the right approach. And here's Cup charging in. Bezichu pops back up to the stairs, and as soon as he does, Icy's there on the hill to catch the pick, exposing him to Icy. Now Cheddar's got to worry about getting shot from both sides. Tries to tuck in, but has no cover. Error 404 with 5 left alive. Execute a great offensive round and lock in an early point. Granted, it was at a disadvantage technically because of a disconnect, but still, that's a good start for Error 404.
Yeah, and I mean, Icy took out 3/4 of those players in that round alone, so that's, you know, Icy chose the right path to absolute destruction there.
Got that multi-stream link that just got posted by Etch. Love to see that. A good indicator, again, of the hype of this final week. Tons of games going on, and I think all three of these games are worth tuning into. So get that multi-stream up. Make sure you're catching all of the action whenever it's up and down. Sorry for the the audio noise there. But yeah, it is going to be a great week and weekend of action that I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see again what these standings look like at the end of this season, Wookie. This postseason is going to be so incredibly exciting, and it's really I can't believe it's only a week and a half away.
I know, it just, you know, being locked in a room for a year, it really makes time fly quick. And now, before I know it, it's already the finals, or the semis, I should say, leading into that good fun of Onward tournaments. But yeah, I just don't even know what to say. The season is already coming to an end.
Yeah,
it goes so quick. And I'm so glad all these new teams have really come out of the woodwork, you know, and been sticking it out.
Oh, it's great to see. It's great to see fresh blood come in, the commitment coming in from them, and again, that skill level. I love to see the communication, and we'll see if Error 404 can catch out this Strive West spawn. This is good. This is a quick spawn, even for this objective, so they can do some early damage if Error 404 try to get a little bit greedy on their defense.
Absolutely. I mean, Strive can come back swinging from the side here, the west side, and if Strive Gaming can take control of Hospital, that really shifts the power in Strive's favor. Arrow 404 will have to really try their best to retake that Hospital, and it's not easy to do.
Now you look at the other defensive.
If that were to happen.
Yeah, you look at the other defensive rotations. You see Badger in the basement. They've got that double coverage over in the east, and it's extended out, and so if Strive can honestly play this stealth and use this west spawn to their advantage, push up here, again, to your point, I think they might have a decent attempt at trying to capture that Hospital. You saw that C4 placement come out. It is well covered. They got 3 there, so not going to be an easy task, but we'll see if Bizachu crossing out here gets caught by Cobra, and that'll be an indicator of the spawn at that point. I like the way they just played that. A very safe rotation. All 3 of them actually taking the long route around. And this actually denies coverage from Cobra's position. He's not going to see anything. Denny's not extended out to catch vision down this street. And so they are still stealth. They managed to not expose their spawn yet. There's no information for Strive to work with, to rotate off of. And Oh geez, I think they had another DC potentially. I don't see. Oh no, geez, I thought the east was gone. They're on a huge flank on the north. Look at where Icy is.
Smoke is out.
Yeah, that is insane. All the way in the north. Oh wow. He's gonna do a lot of damage to them too if he does not.
We got guys by.
Get stopped in some way. Like
it is crazy. I wonder.
That is one of the. Oh, go ahead.
I wonder how he's going to play it, though. You know, you can catch one, but the true art of this flank is going to be to set up for multiple picks. You know, try and get these 3 here in this bottom floor. He goes out for that first early kill. Lonwick goes down, and now the flank is exposed, but it's still effective. It's going to throw this whole offense off, and actually a second kill coming through from Icy.
I was going to comment and just say that one of the downsides to slow encirclement is if you miss a defender and they get a crazy flank on you. Look at this. Look how quickly they got boxed in.
I just shot the 4K from the flank badger.
Wow.
I mean, that's a great play.
Yeah, it was. I'm speechless.
That is an incredible risk. You know, to the point that you were just making there, Wook. If you slow on this encirclement and you have a spawn like that, there is the downsides. There is negatives. You can get pinched if you're not paying attention. And I mean, for me as a player, that'd be the last thing I expect out of that spawn.
Exactly. And you know what they did? 404 was smart. They sent out like a pawn right across the chessboard, and they sent him east, and they just had him loop around to the north. And they basically are like, "Hey, you're one of our best shooters, or snapshots, right? So just go until you find something." And the fact that he never found anything through that whole sweep tells them all the info that they need, that they spawned in the west. They're all still west, and they boxed them in at that burning objective building. So, I mean, really well played by 404.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I was saying that they were stealthed up through that entry, but to your point, they were never stealthed. They probably figured out they were west a good way into I mean, as soon as they crossed that street, because Icy had committed to that rotation, so.
Right. Earlier, I was watching Cobra in the hospital, and he said he saw movement in the west, so that was all the info that those guys needed.
Yep. Yeah. Great play there. All 5 left alive for Error 404. It really, again, just, I mean, great work from Icy.
Yeah, incredibly risky though, like you pointed out. Like that should not work. There is something fundamentally wrong with a Marsoc approach where, you know, you have a defender get that far behind you, but I think that this is like both teams are just kind of poking and prodding, and they're going to figure out each other's tactics, and they're definitely going to be paying more attention to flanks from now on.
Yeah, I think that you will. Yeah, they could have invested one to get, you know, to watch the flank there, but even then, I don't think with the route that he took, they would have spotted him. It was such a wide flank. I don't know, you know, I'm not sure how. I think the only defense there would have been to commit to that west push, you know, and just keep moving, not pausing like they did. But even then, they weren't really playing it that slow. Icy went for that flank really early. I don't know, just a good play that gets them.
Yeah, it was just, that's all I'm saying. Is, you know, they're going to be more aware
towards AC area?
for flanks.
Okay,
but it was a very well done flank.
Go with Icy. Cobra, we go backside. Cobra, we go backside.
Look at that.
Yep. I'm going.
Sending Icy again out as the lone warrior. Oh no, that's not Icy. Sorry, that's Cup.
I mean, it's a very similar objective. So the RNG gods were not kind to us today. They're like, we heard you like the last objective, so here's this objective.
Yeah, it's
like,
not.
No, we need some variety here.
Icy makes it across there. Toxic doesn't spot him.
Wow, huge. Icy. Oh, they saw him then. Toxic is trying to zero in on Icy.
This is the same. This is the carbon copy of the same play too. You know, they set up the same defense. Icy's gonna peek up here, and he's gonna actually try and check the spot that Toxic was in last time. He's not gonna see that. But Toxic is still in a super exposed position. As soon as Icy pops up over here, it is a uncontested kill. Oh, Icy might not
Toxic
commit though. Yeah.
He's really exposed. Either Cobra or Icy are gonna just end him.
Yeah, but Icy isn't pushing up over the ledge. He's not committing to extending and looking over here. And I don't think Cobra knows Toxic is here because, to your point, it's a bit of an off-meta position. Super exposed and not really where anybody should be. And after Cobra's cleared this rock, he's going to be feeling confident there. Icy does commit to the push-up. And yeah, I mean, Icy was saying it was clear. He just said on the comms, never mind, it was not. So yeah, that could have been bad news for Cobra. But fortunately enough, Icy finds that kill. And now it's something that Crimson and Cheddar have to worry about.
Surprisingly, nobody confirming Toxic.
Just wait until they're out in the open.
But yeah, it was funny. Icy was like, south is clear, and then he checked to make sure it was clear. I was like, oh, it wasn't clear.
Confirm comes in from Toxic, so no comms there. Ooh, Cup finds Lamek on the other side of the map. Lamek was extended out into that center, and they're trying to maybe do a little bit of damage themselves on a aggressive position, but gets caught out, and as Cup dives out, he almost gets tagged by Bizachu, but those shots don't connect, and Striver left with just 3. Error 404 is encircling again on objective.
Yeah, 404 are just really good at encircling objectives, and they're really just amazing at quarantine in general.
Yeah.
This is one of their best maps, if not their best map, and I, as a player, am afraid to go up against them on quarantine. It's always going to be a tough slog. Oh, Bizu finally getting Cup. He was watching that wall for a good minute there, just waiting for him to peek.
Yeah, Denny almost had the angle on him, but Bizachu doing a nice job of denying that just by the pillar there. And a huge pick, honestly, because that does shut down the encirclement plan. Now everything is shifted over here onto this east and middle side, and so it does sort of limit where Strive has to focus their attention.
Yeah, Icy still over here in the South Dunes. Just trying to scope out that southern hospital building. Oh, and he finds one as I say that. Nice headshot up against Cheddar, but there's still one more in there. I don't think he's aware. Crimson looking for that refrag, doesn't find it though. Oh, but Badgers just takes out Crimson while he's peeking his head up over that cover, and now Biza is all that remains between 404 and this objective.
Cobra's here up on objective. The smoke's there. Pad's gonna come out. Bizachu has to crash around corner and deny it. Cobra's not going to push up into the smoke, but how fast can he camp?
Oh.
Not fast as Icy's trigger finger. Almost the map 4-0, but Error won another round on the quarantine. Strive get another life thrown at them, but not a single kill has come through. Actually, one there for Bizachu, but that is it so far from Strive.
I wonder if Icy's back is starting to hurt that 9-0.
Jeez.
On map 1.
Yeah, I don't know if Denny has actually 0 kills, but he has been he has suffered some disconnects. I don't think we've had a DC from Error 404 yet, though. I think it's been on Strive's side. So yeah, I don't think Denny's gotten his I don't think he's shot his gun. I don't know if he's gotten into the action yet. Icy's been hogging it. And hey, when you're playing, that's you. That's a good game. That's a good win. I would always take those if someone wants to go off on a series, by all means.
Indeed, Strive really just taking their time here to figure out what to do. I mean, this is backs against the wall kind of situation. Obviously, you want to get at least 1 point on the board, but if you're 4-4, this is exactly what you want. You want to 4-0 as many maps as possible so that once you're done with the series, you climb that MMR higher. Into
the next round we go. Map number 1 going heavily in the favor of Error 404. We'll see if they can continue to ride this momentum. But they are playing focused, and it is working for them. As I say that, they drop a C4, and that is going to make that useless.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. Maybe they'll play it off like, oh, I meant to do that.
We'll see if this, that C4 could be coming in play on a huge flank later. We'll see what Strive's set up for.
Just the most obscene way possible. Badger's going for that one little, oh, he's going for the pit here, the engine. Interesting play. Oh, I guess he's going for the flank. It's Badger's turn to sow some mayhem.
Oh,
Icy taking out Cheddar, just totally not open to the idea that there could be a guy in that tower in the southeast.
It's interesting because they've committed to that cross a couple of times themselves. So, you typically defend against what you attack as, and would be something to keep an eye out for. But Icy just continues to rein in these kills here, and Strive is just not having any luck in this series. See if Icy can find the double. He's very dialed in. He seems to be aware that there could be a second there, but I don't know if he's actually ID'd too on the cross.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know if Icy's aware of Crimson. It doesn't seem like it based on the lasers. He doesn't seem too focused on his Crimson's location.
I think they got the central.
And Badgers is kind of,
they sent one down here to stop.
I hate to say it, but he's wasting his potential down. I don't know, honestly. Like, Icy will pick off anyone that even comes remotely close to that position. So I think this is just a interesting, just kind of like freestyling it.
Yeah, you can play that way when you've got that confidence going, and it makes you dangerous because you can play off meta spots, and oftentimes when you're at this tier of gameplay, you expect the meta to be taken and utilized, but Icy is having none of that. A pretty good smoke there, but it's onto the 3rd floor, and Icy's on the 2nd. The trade with Crimson does leave room for a res with both ends, but I doubt that comes in from either side as the trio is committed heavily over to the west.
I gotta credit Crimson. That was an amazing headshot, and then now that he's downed and Icy is dead, Badger's position actually just became 10 times more interesting to me, because if someone goes to revive Crimson and they take that shortcut through the parking garage, they're gonna find Badgers, and they're just gonna be like, what the heck just happened? Why is there a defender sitting in the dark in the underground parking garage? Bizu's crawling, keeping his head down, which is the smart thing to do. Unfortunately, time is against him, and he has to. There we go. He's high speeding it over to Crimson. Hopefully he'll get that revive off. I don't know. But Badgers is going to be a problem for these two. Surprisingly, I got to say, I'm shocked, I tell you.
Yeah, and the clearing here for Strive, just trying to find any picks they can with this position that they managed to secure in plane, but hasn't come through.
They might be able to just cross and head south. I mean, they could bypass Badgers altogether. Yep, they're going south. So they're going to completely bypass Badgers, which really leaves about 3 defenders on objective, more than enough to handle 2 attackers, right? But the thing that I'm curious, oh wow, nice pick. Cobra takes out Lawn, and that is really going to affect Strive's ability to make any headway here against 404.
I can't believe the res came through. They committed all the way to this rotation and picked him up.
Badgers.
Yeah.
Badger's coming out of his hole. He's like a little trapdoor spider. He's like, all right, I got him where I want him. I'm coming out. Maybe maybe not quick enough. They're going.
Strive losing another, and now again getting picked apart here, finding very few kills. Only one more tacked on today, and Badger finally comes up, tags Crimson King, down he goes, and now Bizachu's worried about all kinds of different angles. You got to be concerned about Cup up on the roof as well. That's the final kill that comes through. Error 404 dominate map number 1 on Quarantine, and if you're Strive, I think you get away from the range and go to a bit more close quarters action because Quarantine and the range that they did find themselves in did not work well for them today.
Indeed they didn't, as evidenced by Icy's double-digit kill streak here of 10-1. He did eventually get shut down, I think, on this round. But man, I mean, amazing first map by Icy.
Map number 2 takes us to Bazaar, and this should be interesting. This will be, you know, Quarantine has its capable spaces, but Bazaar certainly does as well. And with where we're headed for objective number 1, Kayat of all places, I mean, really going to drive that narrative home. If Strive want to try and bounce back, it's their map pick. They're going to go on the offensive first. This is the time, you know, go for the cap.
Indeed.
Just try and shut down the momentum that Error 404 have generated, because they are running away with the series right now.
Well, I really hate to break it to Strive, but 404 are also very good at Bazaar. So I don't know if this was the perfect example to jump to for map 2, but maybe Strive has something up their sleeve here.
Yeah, if we're going with the idea that they didn't ban anything to leave the map pool open, maybe the problem is, to the point that you're making, I mean, if you look at Error 404's stats, I don't really know what their, I guess Subway would be the choice that you would go with. They've played that 7 times and only won it twice. It's their weakest map by and large, and it wasn't banned, so that's where I think I would have taken this for Strive. But everything else, I mean, the next lowest win percentage is 67%. And I mean, that is really impressive to have as a team. You know, it's a stat that you don't see often because so many teams have been playing for so long that, you know, they've lost a lot of matches over the course of time. But for Strive, they're new this season and they've been winning a lot. And so it's interesting to see, I suppose, something that we really haven't had a metric to look at as in the past.
Right. I mean, one of the reasons 404 has so many losses on Subway is because they insisted on playing Mayhem on Subway, which is probably our best map. So, but they're pretty good at Subway. They just happen to be playing some amazing teams at Subway.
Yeah, that's.
But everyone's really good at this tier, you know. Like it's.
I know it's crazy. I think a great example is to see. Shoot, I'm trying to remember the team names. I think it was Silent Purge against Ember or something like that, or Blaze, and it was ranked 8th or 16th worldwide, and they managed to win. I really think anywhere from 7th to 20 is a toss-up on who can potentially come out on top.
Yeah, and Strive do have a 100% win rate on Bazaar, but I don't think they've played a team such as 404 on a map like this. So this will be really interesting. If you guys are sharing those multi-streams in the chat, appreciate you. Also, shout out to Christina Applegate.
Still waiting for a lobby to start up. Not seeing any subs. Everyone is in and ready to go. Strive, you know, a team that has been playing good this season is certainly, you know, I don't think that first map was even a good representation of this squad. I think if Error 404 get a little bit lazy here and are a little bit overconfident in their win on map 1, Strive could do some damage, and we'll see if they can challenge Kayat Objective with their first round on Bazaar.
It is a tough objective right off the bat. So it's kind of like the turntables have turntabled a little bit from Quarantine's easy to defend objectives to this super hard objective to defend.
Pikachu gonna hunt for 2-story peekers, but Badger's tucked in, and we're getting into some early fights as Icy and Cobra have extended out to the edge. Icy gets scooped up, and Cobra is gonna continue his advance, but Toxic seems to be keyed in here.
Yeah, they got that spawn ID real early on. Now it's just a matter of finding picks, maybe boxing in Marsoc a little bit. And I think Cobra is going to do a really great job here keeping the West held down. He's very good at that guerrilla warfare kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would say this is a risky position, but to your point, both Cheddar and Toxic are on the other side of the street where Cobra is, so he is defending against 2. The only trouble is, Cheddar comes out, so he finds that kill. He's now exposed. Toxic should have info. The only trouble is if the West or any other position pays off, I mean, they don't really have fantastic coverage on their back end. There's only 3 on objective. So if Cobra goes down, it's certainly going to weaken their hold substantially, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Cobra's spidey senses are tingling, and he radioed in that he thinks there's one more near him, which there is. Toxic, lingering nearby. But I mean, either way, he's playing his role. He's slowing down the offense from reaching the objective, which is the whole point of sending these attackers way far from objective. Like at that point, you're not even trying to defend the objective. You're just trying to stall the team and make them run out the clock a little bit, and then maybe fall back towards objective.
4 minutes left, so there is still a lot of time to stall out. And Toxic clearly doesn't seem to be very pressured. The element that I think could pay off substantially for them is Lon Wick here. If he decides to push down this street and commit to trying to attack the objective from behind, I mean, he could potentially get rid of Cup and then be there for a cap threat. So, you know, this kind of...
Toxic and Cobra real close to each other now at this point. I thought for a second there was going to be an interaction. Oh, there is. And then there were 2.
Is the guy on me dead?
So Lon Wick now has that info. He is a potential threat. If he decides to commit and peek down this long street along north lane, he can find that kill. I don't know if Lon is going to commit to that. To my point, if he just keeps doing what he's doing and hugs it tight to push up on and flank this north end. I mean, there's a gap here that he can thread where he is just challenging Cup, and I wonder if he's going to find that gap.
Yeah, they do seem a little lacking in defense here on this east approach. So that could be Wick's one opportunity to sneak in, especially if Bezichu makes enough noise and distracts them enough.
Yep. Smokes up front would be huge, and there's a real potential for success here with Longwick. And I think he's now checking the code and where his teammates are so that he can get ready for what could be a cap attempt. 2:15 left, so he's going to have to start making that move soon.
Yeah, I mean, really, either one of these guys, Wick or Bezichu, can, you know, assuming one of them sets up a nice distraction, the other one can get in there. Oh, eating my own words as Badgers takes out Bezichu. They've got an accurate kill count. They know Wick is the last man up. He heard Danny, and he's going to confront him, and he wins that confrontation. That was a ballsy move.
I don't know if he got tagged or not. I don't see a heal coming out.
It looked clean to me, but who knows?
Well, now the attack comes through. Cup, the lone one on the backside. Cobra not committing to a hard flank yet, and Lonwick has the right idea. If he pushes in, Cobra there does peek wide. Oh. Does he spot him? I don't know. The smoke's now blinding.
No, he didn't.
Lonwick's here on objective. He's gotten through. Everyone's moved off. He just has to tablet out and punch in the code.
He is punching in the code.
Cup's
coming around the corner. Oh. Yeah, there it is. Not quick enough. Too much hesitation.
Drive.
That was close.
Almost had themselves a heck of a map to start, but doesn't happen that way. Error 404, another solid round. A couple of kills coming there for Strive, though, and I would say a marked improvement over what their performance was like on Quarantine. I mean, clearly, as they almost got a cap, but a much better job of dividing and trying to push through. I think Error 404... The problem is now is that Error 404 are still playing very good, and now Strive have to defend the Sky Out objective against a potential cap.
Yeah, and you're gonna... Knowing 404, they're gonna just completely encircle Kiat with like 3 people up, and they're all gonna zerg that objective for a cap around the same time. I just feel it in my bones based on how they've been playing tonight, and that is, you know, Strive are gonna have to basically beat them at their own game. They're gonna have to get those flankers out there early on, get those pawns pushed forward, see, you know, if they can get any early picks, and even if they can't, that's still great intel to at least tell you, hey, they spawned on the west or the east, and to work off of that. That'll be huge info. We may see another like 4-1 split from Strive. I've noticed that they tend to do that, and this is the objective, to do that. If you get 4 people to sneak into the backyard of Kia, it can be like if you can get 2 guys to rush objective and they think that they killed one of those 2 and the objective is safe and the other one caps, man, that would be the perfect play.
And also make a little bit longer, because all those corners never came through.
Into the action we go. Strive gonna push out early, and Lon Wick gets caught out by Denny. Looking for that early rotation. A nice pickup there. Toxic has swung wide.
Yeah, Lon's dead, Lon's dead.
And so he does have some coverage here, but unlike the oh wow, here's the cross. Definitely an opportunity for some picks.
It's one.
I don't know if I lost Wookie. Bizachu finding another kill there.
He's in the northeast building of Ghetto.
No, I'm here. I'm just impressed by how well Strive is beating 404 at their flank game right now. They got those picks. I mean, of all objectives, this is the last one you want to like lose guys on. This early on, at least. You want to get as close objective, obviously, in Kiat as you can.
Error 404 again, just trying to encircle. Cup is trying to swing around here. I like King's position. He's holding a very late angle on this north end, waiting for that swing wide to come through, and I don't know if Cup is going to be checking into this tight lane or not, but it's a solid spot that should pick up Cup as he tries to push in from the north. You have to have good coverage of this north side with this map, and you actually see several defenders prioritized here. Cheddar as well, Toxic Boss. If anything, they actually have a pretty weak front coverage of this objective. A good smoke wall does do wonders if you want to push up from the middle, but I don't think that's what Error 404 are going with.
Smoke's on West Block.
Up did ID Toxic and called him out, so I wonder if Cobra is gonna go take care of Toxic, and
oof,
what'll happen because of that, I don't know, but oh, he takes a shot, misses, but Cobra cleans him up.
330, so the push not necessarily immediately coming in just yet. And again, they still do have a decent setup for defense here because Cheddar is committed to this corner position. It's going to force an attack at least of some semblance in the backside if they go for it. Bizachu and Crimson still up in the front, but Bizachu not long for the world as Badger has an ID on him in the corner.
Oh, the moment Cheddar stops watching that cross, Cobra crosses and gets the kill, and now he's upstairs on objective. This is looking like a cap for 404 right here. Cheddar hunting him. Not doing it quick enough though. Badger's taking Cheddar as he runs up the stairs. Man, that teamwork, not quite good enough. They're going for caps and missing cap opportunities like crazy today. Everything else is banging though.
I know, it's again, Era 404 does one thing very well, and it's coordination. They are again a team that can play and compete against top 10 squads. So for them to be even down at ranked 15th worldwide is, in my opinion, a bit low for them at the end of the season. You know, we talk about you know, is there anything even to really compete for? Like, if Era 404 can't win and get up into that top 7, what's it worth playing? And I still do think you want to end your season as high as possible so that you can go into season 2 saying this is where we are capable of getting. We want to now push forward from that. So I do, you know, Era 404 very clearly I think pursuing the idea that maybe there's a chance they can get into the top 7. And frankly, Wookie, I mean, you said they need to win both their games big. If they 12-0 this first game, it's going to set them up for a potential of getting some good MMR in game number 2.
I'll be honest, it might just be enough to push them to that 20 MMR reward.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, they're not far in rank.
None of us know.
It's
for the record.
Yep, as intended. So we'll see again how the ladders shakes out after the end of today, in particular, because again we have those 3 casts going live across all the channels, but also throughout the course of this week. It is the final week, and so there's just going to be a scramble for challenges, and I can't wait to see what the weekend is going to hold and what that ladder looks like on Sunday night.
Absolutely. I mean, like you pointed out, a lot of this for some teams is pretty much just them trying to end the season as high as possible on the standings. Because like you said, going into season 12, that's a great advantage. You don't have to start from the bottom every season.
Yeah.
So the higher you can finish this one, the better. Yep.
There is soft MMR resets per season, but yeah, it does carry over to some extent per season. So yeah, it has its value for sure to perform well all the way throughout. So to the same extent, Strive don't want to let this one go. It is their map pick. They're only down 2, thankfully not 3. Cap didn't come through last round, and we're off to a aggressive start there, looking for some early picks out of the spawn, but they couldn't catch them. So I think if anything, it's given info to Era 404 that there is a presence here, and IC catches one out from second story. It continues to find those kills.
I was gonna say, like, Strive was moving in a way that they were kind of anticipating resistance within Kiop, but then Wick got picked off so effortlessly. I wonder if maybe there's a lack of coordination going on, like maybe someone thought that was a friendly up there or something. Kind of unusual to see like a cross like that.
Yeah, well, I see with another kill onto Toxic as he peeks up and out, and he's going to be on the hunt for more. This angle super dangerous to peek, and yeah, I mean to
not Badger, it's Icy.
To just show you how much they do their research. I mean, IC identified that Crimson was there, so they just know the voices of players and maybe even preferred positions, but he did correctly ID the player. They don't have that UI. They don't have the layover. I don't see names, so interesting that he knew that.
Interesting use of smoke. I'm not sure what they shut down.
I think themselves.
Unfortunate, yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro.
Second floor, north apartments, west side.
Crimson's
They
gonna
do have about 3.5 minutes on the clock, but I really feel like they should be spending this time getting out of this location. Icy has just been picking them apart.
Yeah, Bizachu knows he's in there, but can't continue to hold the angle and can't predict when Icy will cross left to right across that tiny window. So he is really trapped. Icy is just shutting down this whole Strive defense again. And he's going to commit to the aggression. He pushes out finally. Bizachu finds his mark. It only cost his whole team to get it, but he got it.
Yeah, that, you know, you would think Strive was defense, but their offense and Icy is defense. So this is the tables have flipped.
Yeah, to say the least.
Look on the offense. Badgers looking to shut that down. They just spent too much time in that courtyard, allowing themselves to get boxed in by that 404 offensive Volk team.
The domination continues. Error 404 playing very well today. They are clearly searching for as many points as they can get in this final week, and I will be keen to keep an eye on this squad, try and push up that ladder as much as they can. It's always fun. Again, we've been talking about it a lot, but the final week's always fun. It always gets a little crazy. Roster locks are in, so you don't see any new teams come in or any new players. These are the teams that are going to be moving on and playing in the postseason tournament. So just it's super fun. And again, I mean, if you're Strive, you got to be a little bit concerned here. Maybe you can come back and watch the footage, but this is a team that you very likely are going to have to play again. If Error 404 doesn't make it into the top 7, they will be playing in the Challenge Cup and the Challenger Cup, and Strive is, I imagine, going to be playing as well. There's a good chance that because they're close in MMR that they'll eventually face each other. And so a moment, I guess, to do homework, kind of research what worked and didn't. They Strive, again, nearly had a cap. They've nearly had a few points, at least on Bazaar here, but they haven't been able to sort of finalize on that execution, and it's been tough. So, you know, again, you get a I know that Error 404 does this and that they do watch that footage, but reviewing tape and watching yourself play back and trying to understand the rights and wrongs goes a long way in developing as a team.
It does, and you know, as we mentioned, with the season almost being over, it could just be a thing where these teams are going to be playing in the wildcard challenge, and maybe they're trying some new tactics out, since they know at this point standings don't really matter. This is better than a scrim, right? People do weird stuff in scrims. You don't always get the full picture, but you do in real actual matches. So maybe they're trying out some new tactics here against 404. 404 are just quick to shut it down.
Yeah. Icy in particular, very quick to shut it down again. 5 kills. Cobra's got 4 himself, playing well on Bazaar here today also, but see, setting up again on the hunt for more through the windows. To the point, Strive have been trying to counter aggression with aggression, and that just has not worked. You know, Error 404 have continued to shut it down, and there's different ways to try and bounce back. Lon Wick, though, as I say that, aggression versus aggression, it does work. Catching out the key killer for Error 404. The best chance that this team is going to have of getting a round in this series. They haven't locked one in yet.
You know, if Strive does watch the tape back, the one thing I would just hope that they take away from this is utilize those flanks. Don't allow yourself to get boxed into one area of the map. I mean, you just gotta keep it moving. I haven't seen enough rotations coming from Strive. I think that's really been their biggest weakness here, because they're all great players, but they're allowing themselves to get boxed in by Volk, of all people, way too often. So hopefully, you know, they can work on those rotations, because I mean, they're a great team.
Certainly are. They just being a bit outplayed here today. Arrow 404 bringing the heat and playing it well. 7 unanswered points coming through in the series. They are on track for their 8th and locking in that series win. We'll still play out the 3rd map. It'll be Arrow 404's choice I gotta wonder where they take it. They've banned cargo. They got great win rates on everything else. I guess, to your point, maybe something they'll want to practice. They'll pick a map that they just want to get a little bit of, they want to brush up on, you know, anything is possible.
Yeah, hopefully
there.
we'll get some subway action. They do need to play all the maps for the wildcard challenge, so might as well practice now.
We're not there yet. Strive haven't lost one on defense yet this round as well. Still all 5 alive, and as I say, that Shedder nearly gets picked up into Cup's sights. But they are holding, and I'm not counting them out yet. They've gotten a key kill onto IC, Air 404's key fragger, and it's going to now be a bit of a test if IC has been carrying them through a couple of wins, or if anyone on Air 404 can step up, and IC's just been getting all greeting all the kills before anyone else gets them.
One dead on the building next to OBJ building.
Quickly turned into a 4-4. Cup finds that one. Cobra doing some damage up through the center. Catches out Lon Wick. On objective defense cut down to just 2, and there's 3 pushing in from that east side, so it's going to get dangerous for Strive here.
Three for 3 now. This is not looking too good for Strive because a lot of Air 404 coming in from the east now. And their defense is just a little exposed to that east approach, which just happens to be where 404 is.
2 minutes left though, so they do have time to rotate. Zombie taking an interesting position. He is guarding for that flank, but it's not coming through. Strive have crashed and formed a kill triangle around objective. As I say that, it turns into a kill line because there's only 2 left alive. Danny trying to find at least 1 from this. Oh, there's 1. Bizachu's gonna almost get the frag, but then he dips back down. These shots have to land, or Denny can snap and shoot. He's been landing some great quick shots here on this east side already.
Yeah, I don't know if kill count is off, but I'm surprised. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm surprised that there's not more like more of a sprint towards objective. I guess they're just going for kills at this point. I mean, if you're 404, this is a perfect opportunity to 5-0 on map 2, but I don't think they're thinking about that. I think they're just going for kills here.
Yeah, this objective certainly capable, but not the easiest. You have to have good smoke placement, really, to deny proper coverage. If Bizachu does hold where he is, it should do work, but the time is going to be an element here for Air 404. 45 seconds left. They are eventually going to have to push in, and Badger finds another, so... Or excuse me, Bizachu finds Badger, so it's a 1v1 now.
Man, where were those smokes 15 seconds ago, Danny?
The utility there didn't use it. He's going to push off of the smokes, though. Bizachu's here. Takes the shots from the corner, and finally, Strive put a point on the board. It took them 7 rounds, but here they are on their map pick.
Hey, a win is a win, so that's great. At least they didn't get blown out on the first 2 maps. And hey, maybe this will be the comeback that they need. I've seen teams come back from worse. Well, actually, this is about as bad as it gets, but I mean, I've seen teams pull it off, is all I meant. It's possible.
Yeah, certainly is. And like I said, Strive is a team that is capable of playing to their ranks, so... you know, despite this being what has been an incredibly one-sided series so far, they're not out of this just yet. We do go to a new objective, although for these 2 teams, nothing's new. So an objective on Bazaar, and this one certainly, I don't know if I've seen it capped yet. Oh, I have seen it flash capped. But,
yeah, this one's kind of tricky to cap on. You have a lot of, you know, patios and roofs to look out from, but I think that you can really set up such a strong defense on this objective. So Strive are really gonna have a hard time punching through this one, I think. We shall see, of course, but it all comes down to the approach here.
Yep.
South approach is just littered with opportunities to get ambushed. And I think East approach is probably their best bet, but if Air 404 does that thing where they just get kind of loosey-goosey with it, send out some flanks, and don't really care too much about objective itself, then this could be over pretty quickly.
Still waiting on a 5th for Strive, so a brief technical pause here. Hopefully they get that reconnected and they can continue, because this is probably the one time they don't want to put a pause in this series. They've actually gotten themselves a win there and a little momentum to ride, but yeah, they are waiting for that 5th to reconnect, and so we are too. And a reminder to everyone that there's 3 games live right now. Word on the Street is the SMC game. It is pretty enjoyable to tune into, so if you do want to go catch that, I think that's live on
2? No, 3.
3?
Pretty sure it's 3.
Either way, the multi-link should do the trick. I am getting word, 15-minute timeout coming in, so we will cut to an intermission and be back into the action when Strive's 5th returns. Catch those multi-streams, click that link, and watch the other games. Tune in when we return. Until then, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for patiently waiting for what could be series point here. Error 404 leading map number 1 4-0, and now map 2 3-1. Strive have subbed in Yamum for Cheddar, I believe.
There we go.
And we'll see if he can find any kills. Cheddar not really connecting the last few rounds, and so maybe it will be what they need. Maybe Cheddar just had some tech issues, had to recharge the headset, who knows. But Yamum's in, and I wonder if it'll be the key element for this squad. If they can get an icy level killer here out of Yamum, it'll certainly do a lot of work for them. So I don't know. We'll see, I suppose.
Well, this is, you know, sadly how I kind of predicted, right? The south is full of ambush points.
Yep.
And I think the east, based on the mini map, is the best approach here. And I say that out of experience. I'm not just guessing this stuff. And so unfortunately though, for STR1VE-GAMING, they're walking right into that southern trap.
Yeah, it's actually a super heavy south stack. The 4 here on that south corner wall. Denny in particular pushing up to get aggressive and catch out an early rotation there. Obviously,
hopefully their numbers.
You know, obviously we have that information that they don't. You know, we talk about Stratton. You know, we can see that that east is a barren wasteland, really, in terms of defense. But Strive not necessarily aware of this, so.
Of course, yeah, they have no idea. But the only thing that I hope for you know, I hope Strive has the numbers to at least get a quick refrag or something, and not just get picked apart here.
Yeah, that has been one thing we haven't seen a lot of from Strive, is those refrags. They seem to sort of be playing all individual, if you will. Lonwick is able to get Denny, but yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, Denny got way too restless. So that actually does open up the south approach a good amount. I mean, Badger's over there in the cracked wall. That's a pretty common position. So hopefully Strive can at least shut it down with a smoke or something. But man, I was really hoping to see more of a split push here. They're pretty much going all in on the south push.
Well, we'll see, right? You can split it all the way once you even get up to the green room. So
right,
they're not necessarily committed to that south yet, but they do have control of it pretty dang well. Pizachi was taking some shots there up through the center. I'm not sure at what, so maybe just a little suppressive fire, draw some eyes, and I like the setup so far.
Yeah, always good to distract people. How many times have you heard like shots go across, and then you've seen someone get aggressive and peek or something, you know, and then they get caught. You know, those shots help.
Still a strong on objective defense though, and so it's going to come down to the execution. And that clock starts to tick a little bit lower.
That crack that icy or cup is looking through, my god. Did not even realize that was a thing. That is so tight, like, can you really get a kill from there?
Yeah, it's that is a crazy little tight spot. I don't know what he'll see though, because it's dark. I'm not sure what the angle is. I think I think all he gets is 2-story at Kayat from here. I don't know.
Well, I guess if anything, he'll know if someone's pushing, right? Like they'll see him cross for a split second. That's enough info to know that they're pushing into the room that you're next to.
Well, I don't think
if anything.
I don't know if you can see that though, but an interesting little space to be taking up. And to the point of committing to that south, Crimson and Yamum have split there. They didn't go with Lonwick and Toxic, so that south push does get a little bit weaker, but I think that was the right choice to make.
Yeah, I think so too. Badger's, you know, still in a really strong position to shut down that south approach. Smoke's coming in from Bezichu. That'll at least make the defense scramble a little bit.
Yeah, it actually draws Icy off of that line that Toxic would have been scooped up on. So it does do a lot of good work there. Lonwick does come up, and I don't think Badger spots him, but Badger is committing
Crimson.
out.
Crimson got cuffed through that little crack in the wall. Toxic shutting down Badger in that really common position over there in the south. Now it's just one member, Icy, on objective. Gets 5 members of Strive. Oh wow, that's such perfect smokes. They could totally get a cap. Oh, Icy C4 confirms cup. Icy's getting lit up while Bezichu's going for the cap or in the smoke. They don't even see it. Icy's getting capped on. Wow. What a comeback. Impressive play by Strive. Congrats to that cap.
Jeez, and this has been a weird game to tune into. So one-sided for 7 rounds. And now Strive have suddenly decided that they want to get this thing close and serious. A great play, really nicely executed, patient. They get the kills up through the center through those cracks, and then force the rotations out of the south. From there, there's a great smoke application. Icy is thoroughly distracted by all the pressure, and I mean, right on the, to your point, that smoke was perfect. It was right at the edge of the smoke he could cap, but he was still in cover.
Yeah, and Icy thought, you know, to harken back to that thing I mentioned, if there's like multiple people going for a cap, you kill one of those cappers, not knowing there's another capper, you get that false sense of security that you secured objective. And then it was just a perfect example. Getting that cap in the smoke, Icy didn't even think to pre-fire the smoke. He thought he got the capper.
Yeah, and he didn't want to give away his position as well, since he was being surrounded. There's a lot of elements there that do get that play to work, so well done from Strive, but I mean, geez, I guess they just needed your mom in there to get him psyched up. I'm not sure, but it...
Hey, some new blood sometimes helps, you know, as evidenced here today. And, you know, all they need to do is just do a bang-up job defending this objective, and then they'll take map 2 just like that. Feels like it's been such a long journey here on map 2.
Yeah, a 15-minute timeout will do that to you. But, you know, we were thinking that to put a pause in your play like that would end up negatively impacting momentum. You know, they were doing so well pushing forward there with that first point on the board. You know, it had been 7 unanswered. But they decided to go with the sub, get a cap now, and they're tied just a point away. Just a defensive round away from getting their map pick and taking this to a Series 3 decider. Error 404, I don't know if they were caught off guard or not, but it did really feel a bit different in terms of, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Strive didn't get picked early, basically. I think Strive had been getting picked early almost every round by the likes of Icy, and it just didn't happen there.
Well, and I think the real main problem early on for 404 was letting Danny just get a little too crazy, get a little too pushed out. That was a major pick on the south early on.
You can hear Air 404 not very excited off of that cap loss there.
Yeah, well, you know, if you crush the morale just enough to secure one more point, then, you know, Strive can bring it to round 3, or map 3, I should say, and that'll be huge, because it was not looking good for Strive at first.
No, we were talking about 12-0 here for Air 404 with the way that it was going, but
ooh, good pick by Toxic. That was huge. I mean, against Icy. Whew. Massive pick early.
You know,
I mean,
the aggression
still
worked.
Has a deal with Cobra.
Yeah, the aggression worked well for him a couple of rounds, but again, you have to be able to play 2 different coins in this game, or at least 3, maybe 3 to 4 really, but You gotta have that variety and style so you can throw off your opponent. Toxic.
Yes.
Very much waiting for that sort of aggressive push out on the corner, and goes Icy. So the rest of Era 404 is still playing this slow and steady, and we'll see if that's the pace they need, or if there's going to be... I don't see a flank on the map coming in anytime soon from Strive.
Yeah, I know that they have 5 members. Okay, he's in the east. He's just kind of hiding in the corner on the minimap. I was worried they dropped the player again.
Oh.
Luckily, not the case.
How dare you even put it out there?
I know. Shame on me.
3-3 map 2 series decider for Era 404, and yeah, they are definitely, after losing Icy, they have paused their push here. Cobra not feeling like moving anytime soon. Finds...
on the south side of objective.
What was that angle onto Crimson? Was that through the gap?
That was through the gap.
Wow. Not a full kill, though.
Yeah, I mean, they could get a revive. I wonder what's taking them so long.
They're on that wall anyways.
Interesting. Lon's gonna walk right into Cobra's line of fire, trying to get an angle on him, but couldn't do it quite quick enough. Toxic throws a flashbang over there. Hopefully he doesn't get too aggressive. The team really needs him right now. Meanwhile, you know, Cup and Badgers are slowly crawling up. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed this, but there is a molly in that north alley.
Interesting.
So they're looking to shoot that molly, shut that down. Cause it, you know, 4-4 is setting up to do exactly the same thing Strive did, and Strive is ready for it. Wow, Yamum just pops out, gets the flank on Badgers, and Cup takes out 2. Now it's a 3.5v2 situation for 404. Wow, this may have just swung. Cobra is quickly approaching Toxic. That's going to be an awkward kerfuffle around here. Toxic is out of flashbangs, so he can't flash him. All comes down to this here, Cobra and Denny. What can they pull off?
Yeah, Cobra tucks in. Good to back off, and Denny's gonna come and reinforce. Oh no, and Toxic.
Wow.
What a sneaky little angle. Peeks out and then crosses across. I don't know if he knows Cobra's tucked in. Cobra shoots wood in front of him, doesn't have the angle. Toxic still doesn't know Cobra's there. I think he was thrown off of the kill. He thought that was who he was fighting. Cobra's got that and almost snags Yamum. That would have been huge. Not out of it just yet. It's a 1v2.
Why are they not reviving Crimson? I'm actually surprised, and he bleeds out. They had so much time to get him. That may come back to haunt them, but I mean, it is just Cobra. And he has less than 90 seconds to pull off a miracle here.
You have to crash forward, and yeah, to your point, the timer going to be an element, so see what he can do. Yamum, as long as he doesn't expose to the crack, going to be certain to play it patient and tucked in. Will be the main threat to Cobra if Cobra decides to try and push up through this center side.
Oh, I think Cobra saw it. Oh no. All comes down to Bezichu now. Wow, this is getting so close.
Is there any smokes, any utility out? I don't know. Era 404 just a kill away from taking this series. The final 2 rounds have amped up in intensity.
Oh, there they are.
30 seconds.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh, just like that. Cobra finds the backside of Bezichu with a nice flank. And Arrow 404 do take map 2. Wow.
What a different Strive team that felt like going in there. I mean, good solid defense, able to bounce back, playing that aggressive defense with the flashes. Taking it down to a 1v1. I mean, great play though at the end. Truly, for Cobra to get that clutch. The toe shot was fantastic, and then the smoke play was perfectly executed. But Smoke's on objective, forcing Bezicu to dump rounds into it and prevent the cap. But, I mean, completely caught off guard by the flank, and really again, a really well-played clutch there from Cobra to lock in that series with the second map.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, that not reviving that teammate came back to haunt them. That all they needed was one more body, fortunately for them. Either way, I mean, still great play.
Map 3 takes us to Suburbia. Error 404's choice. They want to keep this thing moving fast. It has been a fast-paced series for sure, minus the 15-minute timeout. But a good one, nonetheless. It was looking truly like an Error 404 12-0 after map 1. And then going into map 2, after 7 rounds, it was not looking good, but a great bounce back. And you know, Strive, they can play to their rank. They're not a team that can't compete against Error 404, and they very much proved it in those last few rounds. Now we go to Suburbia and have a bit of renewed faith that this could be a solid back and forth here.
Man, Strive, they had it so close. You know, that comeback it just slipped through their fingers. I wonder if they're going to come back swinging with a vengeance here on Suburbia, because I mean, at this point, you really have nothing to lose. Just play your heart out, play as well as you can, and just have fun with it at the end of the day. That's what it really is all about.
That would be a time for Error 404 to bring in a sub. You know, if you're... Yes, they do want to try and lock this in with... You know, they do probably want to try to take this 4-0.
Yeah, they do. Undoubtedly, right?
Yeah. Definitely want to try and snag all 3 maps. We've been saying it throughout the course of the day, but they can dominate 2 games this final week. It'll put them close. I don't know if in contention is the right word, but I can certainly say it'll put them close. So, I don't know, this is a big week for them, and big week for a lot of teams, that's for sure. There are so many teams so tight in MMR right there with rank 7, so gonna be a fun one. And again, I want to see what the end of today looks like. We've had 3 games live. SMC apparently putting up a good battle on VRML 3. VRML 2 also had some action going on there, but I don't know if those channels are still live. Either way, we've got ourselves what could be a solid map 3. We'll see if Error 404 can do what they want to do, or if Strive will put up a solid fight here.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we just see some crazy plays out of Strive. Just, you know, just
wild
born
flanks.
in the moment. Wild flanks, you name it, man. That's what Suburbia is all about too, those flanks.
Pretty passive setup for this objective.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting. At first I kind of thought it was a bit more of a meta style, but then I realized they stuck 3 people over there in the backyard. That is not meta at all. They're doing, you know, Strive shutting down certain lanes.
Yeah,
but on this particular objective, you know, you don't really need a certain lane. It's like if you can just get by the fiery semi, you're on objective by that point. I think if this was like red car objective, they'd be doing a great job shutting down these avenues of approach. But I don't know. This defense has me a little nervous.
Got fired from lane 3, I'm suppressed.
I just want to know what the offensive plan is for Air 404. They've sort of spread out, and it was looking like they were stacked to attack lane 4, but Badgers shifted up through the center. I wonder if they're just trying to take control of middle and then work towards objective, because that objective is in a bit of a weird spot over there. It's not out of reach with a couple of well-placed smokes.
Right. And again, that's what makes me so nervous about this strange 3-man backyard push or defense. But, you know, Poop did find a kill for what it's worth. But, I mean, there's 3 other guys in your objective right now throwing smokes on it, which is not a good look. That's going to get the defense panicked.
Oh, and that's a good start. Air 404 catching that long range behind the fence defender. King still tucked to a tight angle. Bizachu on the other side of the fence, but if Cobra swings... Oh, look at this. More smokes, too.
Toxic. Oh, gonna find the back of Icy. Cobra gets that refrag, which is good, but, I mean, there are 2 LMGs in the northeast just kind of doing their own thing. Kind of clueless that there's a push on towards objective here. I don't know. It's a bit odd. It's just a little discombobulated, this defense.
So is the offense. They had a good play going there. He smoked wall, got the kills, and then they drop off on the corner where this could have been a cap, and now Cup's gonna go and try his hand at it solo. It's just, it seems both ends a bit out of sorts here.
Yeah, like why did Cobra go all the way back there? Like, guys, the objective is over here. the whole server is just like routed towards that position over there in the east. It just cracks me up. Cup throwing smokes on objective, but you know, ironically, all you really need to do is just throw smokes on the white car to shut down the white car. You don't literally need smokes on the objective for that exact reason. This Cup just found out the hard way.
Yeah, I know. Targeted smokes at your opponent sometimes work much better than trying to put a wall up to get to cover the whole gap. So
yeah. You know, I know it's kind of tricky to throw those things, but I really don't know what was going through Cup's mind throwing that right there behind nothing. Just didn't quite work out. You know, the plan must have been perfect in his mind for him to fit
Denny, the lone attacker.
How did we get here? You know, like, there's been 2 guys with LMGs in the east just randomly shooting, and somehow that was like the light that caught 404's, you know, attention, and they just kind of got drove towards the light, and they just wanted to I don't know. It just did not work out for 404 in this round, and you know, luckily for Strive, it worked out spectacularly for them. Not trying to dog them, but this is quite an interesting and innovative way to defend this objective.
Yeah, has its weaknesses, has clearly its strengths.
Yeah, its strengths. Denny's like, time? What is time? Who needs time? About to hear that buzzer in his helmet. 30 seconds quickly approaching here. Nowhere near objective for Denny. I don't think they've had any useful callouts. Crimson's just going to just run at objective. Oh, he shoots his gun, which gave Crimson so much time to prepare. There it is. Not really sure what was going through anyone's mind on 4-4 on that round.
Again, just a bit out of sync there.
And I think Strive get a point, you know, that's great.
On the board again. Actually, this time in the lead. I think the first time They've been in the lead all series, so
yeah,
good that they can do it here on map 3. But curious to see how they attack if they try and go for that cap opportunity, because this is certainly one that you can cap on.
Oh yeah, and especially if you get it just right, like this initial Zerg rush towards objective with enough smokes, it can really do so much harm, because, you know, smokes the way that they are, it's so hard to see. Like, even if you're inside the smoke cloud, you can have people just walk on by you and cap right from under your nose. Personally, I would love to ban smokes, or at least make smokes like have people cough so you know that there's someone inside of them.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, I think for a while, I mean, obviously they were banned in season 10. That was certainly interesting.
That was the best. I thought it was the best Onward we've ever seen. It was like teams using suppression a lot more than we see nowadays. And you didn't have this kind of one-man army when it comes to rushing objectives, but still though, we haven't seen that really in use in this game, in this series, so I really can't complain.
Nope. Has been a fun one to tune into.
Yeah.
If anyone's a one-man army, it's been Icy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I only see Denny. Denny, look around.
Okay, good.
Speaking of one-man armies.
Yeah, right. Almost.
He was about to turn into one.
Shout out to everyone tuning in. We do appreciate you all hanging out. Obviously, only reason that we're here is to provide you guys with quality content. I would encourage you to hit that follow button. We're just a few away from 3,100. Felt like we just hit 3,000 a few weeks ago, and now we're almost up to 3,100. So really good to see the new folks coming in. Appreciate those follows, and also saw the sub come in an hour ago from Durafin. Appreciate that as well. Shout out to anyone that comes in and drops the sub. All that support ends up coming back to the caster and production team.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and shout out to Christina Applegate. Yeah. All right, I'll stop with that joke.
I'm not hip enough, so I don't know what it means. So no worries.
Okay.
As we get into round number 2, I'll continue to remain oblivious.
Hey, there's 5 members up. That's a much better look for Strive. Or sorry, 404. Oh, are we gonna see that rapid push that we were talking about there in between rounds? Maybe. Oh, Icy. Shuts down Featherchew. And just like that rotates. That's a smart rotation by Icy. Just get out of there.
Yeah, you have to.
After you get the kill.
Certainly more vulnerable to nades, and good way to play that early aggression.
Well, it's so smart too because it shuts down that early rush.
Yeah. Bit risky.
Oh, absolutely, but I mean, worth the risk.
He's going to stay there and try and hold off any rotations, but 3 positioned to swing in the east.
Crimson blind firing, not sure what he was trying to go for there. I mean, players got to realize that like every
execute the plan.
bit of sound is information that the enemy uses against you, so. Oh, Crimson though, he's keen on Icy's location. That's what's going on. Oh, he tries to pre-fire him. Doesn't quite work though.
-1.
Lon does get the backside of Icy, but then he takes out Toxic. Strive just getting picked apart here.
Quickly cut down to 2. And make it 1 as Badger Zombie exposes himself there. Or your mom actually exposing, sorry. Zombie finds a kill, interestingly enough. Thought that was Denny's kill to have, but Lonwick finds Denny, and almost the shots there connecting.
Oh. Does get tagged. Flash is going left and right. Oh, that was a really good throw if it was just a little bit shorter. Wow, Cobra threw that? Oh my god, across the map, basically. That would have been a Hail Mary if I've ever seen one.
Love to see those.
Yeah, those are the best. Early C4.
3 minutes left. Onweg, the lone attacker, and they got 2.
Lone Wick.
Yeah, suppose. They got 2 on objectives. Zombie has an angle too. It's pretty decent setup to deny coverage. A couple of good smokes would obviously go a long way, but I don't know if he has any of that utility available.
Okay, so I'm gonna just ride along with Wick. Just kind of see what he's doing. I thought he's gonna go up inside middle house, but nope, he is opting to just go for the long flank. Which is, you know, I like that. I think it's something that Strive needs to do more often. So it's good to see them utilizing it here. Still got 2 minutes. Oh, but Badgers was waiting for someone to stand on that slide.
Almost like that was the angle he was specifically holding.
Yeah.
Good pickup there, Arrow 404. Battle back with the defensive round of their own, and we trade. Shift now over to Garage OBJ and another Marsoc, or excuse me, Volk favored objective.
I mean,
I agree.
This is good if you're Strive.
Yeah. Just keep trading defensive rounds and come out on top of at least a map. It's the it's the long and hard road that you gotta take, but unless they can slap a Marsoc round up here, it is what the simplest strategy is for Strive. But at this point, I feel like if you're Strive, you're probably I mean, you really are just playing to try and put your team at the highest rank you can at the end of the season, because now after this loss here with this last week, there's just no chance that from rank 17 they could get up to rank 7. So I think they'll be certainly out of contention. But I guess if anything, they could play spoiler to Error 404's goals here by putting more points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, if Strive can just hold the fort down here on this one, and really, you know, pull off a miracle on Marsoc and get this one, that would be incredible for Strive.
Yeah, I don't think Error 404 are going to let any rounds go easy, though.
Where you at?
We'll see how map 3 shakes out.
Right away, right now, okay.
We dive into round number 3.
Wow, Toxic getting really aggressive there. Cup shutting that down real fast. Goes down near the playground. Meanwhile, 2 others of Strive have taken up defensive positions up in the middle house.
One behind barricade.
Interestingly, they're all on the first floor. Nobody is upstairs, which, yeah, I just find that so interesting. Maybe that'll change though as the round goes on.
Yeah, I just don't. powerful to have up there on the second story because you can cover this push coming through. Bottom floor paying off there for your moment. He catches Icy up on this on the ladder, but still they're not. They don't have good coverage here of the position that Cobra is pushing in on, and they got to worry about a cap.
Poop just took out Badgers. That was an incredible little rotation there from Poop. I saw it from far away. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but Denny heard Poop, tries to go around him. Poop hears his footsteps and calls him out. Oh, Icy gets the revenge against Poop there.
I was staring at him for like 30 seconds.
And, you know, just like that, it was kind of looking good for Strive, but they got that revive, and now all of a sudden, there's just one member left of Strive. 4 members of 404. And, you know, as we were saying in between the rounds, like, you know, Strive really needed this particular round as defense, and they kind of, unfortunately, threw it away by getting overly aggressive there.
Yeah, now
so many wide crosses for them to cover. That's all they had to really do.
Yeah, sit back and let them come to Strive. That's one thing that I don't think they've been doing much at all. But they've been continuously getting aggressive on that defense, and that has been getting them killed. And Era 404 just doing a good job of, again, countering the aggressive defensive style and finding picks, whittling down the defense, and then collapsing as a 4, sometimes 5-man team. A good offensive round there, and we'll see what Era 404 decide to do with their defense. But I want to say that they can play it aggressive here. You know, if they want to send out and look for kills, they have that luxury now at this point.
Right, like Strive is trying to play 404's game by getting aggressive with Volk and getting out there and getting kills. But you know, unless you actively drill and do that, it's really hard to pull it off against the team doing it to you, because the team doing it to you already knows what you're gonna do, more or less, because they do it all the time. So it's that really tricky, like, catch 5-0, or you know, it's just, you got to be careful not to fall into your own pitfalls there, getting aggressive. And I think Strive might be just getting a little too aggressive here.
I think it's catch 22.
Catch 22, yeah, thank you. I'm losing my mind. I can't remember numbers. I was gonna call it the catch 55.
Well, that would have been. You had it right. You knew. You had the 2 numbers at least. You knew. You knew it was in your heart. You knew it, but then you didn't even believe in yourself. You went 5-0. Yeah, jeez.
You gotta look out for the police. There's a cop car over there. You know, it's suburbia.
There's some catch you. Explosions in the distance from time to time, but.
No, but I would like to see Strive put a couple more points on the board here. They had such an amazing comeback on Bazaar, and which, by the way, that was the first time they've ever lost to Bazaar. So
wow.
Yeah, it was that close.
Don't go in front of him, huh?
Back to the action. Let's see what Strive can do on the attack. As we dive in to not the final round of this map. Even if Strive can manage to lock in a cap. Let's see what happens though. And interesting split here, 2-2, one with the suppressive fire up the middle. And look at the aggressive defense pushing up here with Badger already advanced up to this corner.
Icy in the playground, quickly approaching these guys. It's just an assault on all fronts here by Volk. Oh my god.
A gross swing. That's a great transfer. I mean, you know, it's good shot there by Bezos as well, but
-1.
that was a really nice transfer to find that double and puts Error 404 obviously into a very good position. Icy can now play things a bit aggressive. He's going to be diving in behind Yamum, trying to get this kill and flank, and yeah, no one on Strive going to be anticipating this.
Oh no, yeah, Icy's going to find the back of Poo any moment now. Icy doing what he does best, goes out and flanks. Bezu just so close to Zombie. There it is, he's gonna go get him now. Just
give
like
me a high five.
that.
Give me a high five. Come on, double it up.
There, 404, pick it up. And I mean, they're 1 point away from taking this home.
Yeah, 1 point away from a really good series from them. They've been playing it very good so far, and you know, I guess if you're any team in the top 15, you got to be a little bit worried about this squad and several others that could be contenders in the Challenger Cup. It's really going to have some very good teams playing in it, just because there's really good teams all the way through the top 20. So
yeah, we've seen some crazy stuff in the wild card too. I mean,
yeah.
We've seen Rome just absolutely sweep it, you know, and
yeah, dark horses
like
coming.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're seeing an amazing performance by 404, but people tend to forget that those wild card challenges is like it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You get up, like if you're West Coast, you're up at like 8 a.m. warming up and practicing, and you won't be done until probably like 3 p.m., 4 p.m. So a lot of things can go wrong, especially in those last rounds. And it's not the traditional best out of 3 either, so it's really just like comes down to like every single point that you get matters.
Yeah, it is a different style, obviously, than the regular season. And I guess that was why it gets me hyped up about all of the postseason, all of the tournament style, and it's going to be great to be tuning into it. Starts April 7th with that Challenger Cup, and then every weekend has really, I think it's, I don't know how it would be broken
April?
up.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, no. April, I say
August?
April. August, there we go. I knew it was an A. I think. April 7th, guys. We're just a few weeks away from 2022, where we'll have the postseason kicking off.
You almost said it again.
Oh, I did. Hey, it'll be 2022. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to.
Wow. Right off the gate, they did get Badgers. He'll get a revive, I'm sure, but it does slow down the offense at least. Good early shots by Yamum. You know, I like Suburbia, but I don't like the pre-fire, because everyone knows there's 2 ways to get out from behind that house. I'm just not a fan of that pre-fire.
Yeah. It is the nature of the beast, as there is the shrubs and wood that's all penetrable. Cobra finds Toxic there on the edge, and
shot his toe off.
Seen a couple of those toe shots come through today.
Always covering you.
Gotta protect your toes.
No, I killed him.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Get a Kevlar toed boot.
Right, he can be on your left, I see.
Yeah, you're gonna need that in the World War. Dang, Cobra taking out your mom. I don't even know how he does it.
If you could pick to put body armor as an option onto your toes or your chest, what do you think people would take their toes as an option?
In this game, yes.
In real life, no.
No.
I don't think my toes are that important.
Oh wow, the smokes are so perfect.
Yeah, they're really. Oh, that's a great double. Trouble is, they do have the Crimson on the other side of those smokes. And I wonder if they are going to even commit off of them. Icy might not even cross. It might just be distraction to try and force rotations for these center holds to try and catch anything out.
Pretty crazy though. If Cobra or Icy decide to just kind of YOLO. Oh, more smoke's coming. Okay, now they're gonna move up. That is just
really nice.
Chef's kiss. You know, you can't get a perfect setup for a cap than this. Icy gets hit on Bezu. Crimson just plowing into the smoke. Cobra is on objective. Tablet out. Hopefully they can coordinate, not kill each other. Oh no, Icy down. Doesn't matter. Air 404 capping, they go 5-1 on map 3. It's exactly what Air 404 needs here right before the season ends.
Yeah, great way to get a little extra boost in total points and ultimately take all 3 maps in this series today. A great performance from Air 404, like you said, Wookie, really dominating the wavelengths today. Strive just not having a good couple of games, but, you know, like I said, this matchup could very much return in the Challenger Cup if both of these teams end up facing off against each other. And so Strive have a bit of homework to do to sort of analyze what they can improve on. They had a great Bazaar 4-3, nearly coming back, nearly pushing this to a map 3 decider, but even then, Air 404 doing really great here on this 3rd map, and so locking it in with all 3. And
Icy 8-2 right now. Wow. Shout out to Icy, definitely the MVP of this game.
Yeah, huge killer. Shout out to everyone also tuning in. We appreciate all of you stopping by and hanging out for the action today. Shout out to all of our sponsors. You see them scrolling across your screen in the bottom corner and during the intermissions. We appreciate all of them. Be sure to tune in. I don't know if there's any games tomorrow. I think there's a good one Saturday and a good one Sunday. So be sure to tune back in here or twitch.tv/VRMasterLeague. We'll be having some venues, games most likely this weekend. If not, they'll be here on this channel. So be sure to follow if you're not already. But for now, that'll be it from us here at the desk. My name has been NightFiree with 2 E's, my co-caster Wookie with just 1. We will see you all later this weekend for the final weekend of Season 11. Do not miss it. Stay classy.